Okay, so we're going to look at some stretches we can do for after we've been paddling. If you're doing sort of a lot of distance paddling, or even if you're surfing or everything, you can get quite tight muscle groups. So it's really good if we can stretch out. It gives us a better range of movement. So the first one we're going to look at is a child pose. So we start like I am now, kneeling, and then you're just going to come down, reach those fingertips out and come down nice and relaxed. So deep breath in, and as I breathe out, I just stretch into it, bottom back, and just stay there for a little while. And again, after a few seconds, I take a deep breath in, and as I breathe out, my fingers will probably just edge forward a little bit further, and it's just such a nice relaxing stretch. It's great for stretching out the lats, this bit as well. So we just hold it there, and ideally we're stretching, depending on the amount of time you've got, we'd probably look at sort of between 30-40 seconds of stretch if you can. So the next one we're going to do is a down dog into an upper dog or cobra kind of position. This is a great stretch to stretch out your core and your lower back. So first of all, into our down dog. So this is where we push the toes in, come up into with our bottom up in the air. So with this, you might not get your calves, your heels down, depending on how tight your calves or hamstring are. But don't worry if you can't, just drop the heels as far as you can. And then from here, we're gonna come down, lay hands tucked underneath our shoulders, put the toes underneath, and then we're just gonna push up so we get a nice stretch in the lower back and our core. Now, please make sure you only go as far as your range of movement. What we don't want to do is hyperextend our back. So we then come down, toes under, back up into our down dog, push back. If you can, look through your legs, and then come down onto our front, hands tucked under, and then lift up. Okay, so the next stretch we're going to do is for our hamstring. Most of us find our hamstrings do get tight, definitely if we're sat down a lot, and when we're paddling, these still get activated. So we're going to lay down, one leg out straight. So I've got my left leg out straight. I'm going to just put my hand behind my right hamstring and just lift my leg up as far as I can with a very slight bend in the knee. So I'm not forcing it. For me to go any further would mean I'd have to start to bend my knee. So I'm going to hold it there. And then I can just, if I want, push my heel up towards the ceiling or sky, and then toes. So by doing that, I'm kind of getting a little bit of stretch in the calf as well. And we're just going to hold it. And what you can do is take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, you may just get a little bit further stretch. And again, hold it there for a few seconds, and then you can repeat that sort of 3-4 times. From this stretch to hamstring, I'm then going to use the same leg and go into a stretch for my piriformis, which is my glutes. By taking this right leg across the left, I can lift up. Now, if I can reach my hands through, that's great. If not, you can just hold the front of the thigh. And all I'm doing is just letting that leg, and I can gently with my right hand, gently, don't push it too much, drop out. And you should start to feel stretched just in this area. It's a lovely one for the glutes, this. And again, just hold that for 30-40 seconds. Once you've done that side, all you're going to do is swap over and do the hamstring on the left and the piriformis. So another favourite of mine we're going to do is the cat-cow stretch. So with this one, we sort of adopt that tabletop position. Make sure when you do this kind of position that if you look through your legs, you can't see your feet. So that way you know they're in alignment. And we're going to hold it there. And all you're going to do is put a nice little arch in the back and lift your head. And then from there, you're going to round your back and tuck your head in. So deep breath in, relax, and then breathe out. So nice and relaxed, nice slow controlled movement. It's a lovely one for stretching out that lower back and then up to the top of the back. We're going to look at stretching out our wrists. One area we do miss, and quite often when we're paddling, definitely when we start out, we're gripping the paddle quite tightly. So we get quite tight down our forearms and our wrist area. So what you can do is if you turn your hand upside down, just gently place the other hand on the fingers and just gently pull down. And you'll feel that a stretch down there. If you've got the flexibility, you can also do this stretch by being in the tabletop position. Turn the fingers to face you this time. And then just gently come back and forward. So nice and gently, and you'll feel that also stretches the wrists out. So another stretch we're going to do is for our calves. They can quite often take a battering, definitely when we're first paddling, because we kind of stay quite still and we put a lot of pressure through the feet and the calves. So first calf stretch we're going to do, we're going to take a big step out and we're going to push forward so that I'm stretching the back of the calf. Now while I'm doing that, I can also stretch the top of my back. So I can imagine I'm hugging a big tree or something, interlock the hands and pull forward and drop my head down. So I'm pushing back to stretch my calf, and then I'm pulling forward the upper body to stretch across the top of my back. And once I've done one side, if I swap over to the other side, this time I'm going to take my arms behind my back, interlock fingers, look up, pull down and out, and I'm opening up and stretching my chest. So I'm still pushing back, pushing forward and pushing through my calf, and then stretching the chest as well. So final stretch we're going to do is for the sides. So if you cross over, so I've got my right leg over my left leg, I'm stood up nice and tall. I'm going to take my right hand up and I'm going to lean, so I'm pushing that hip out that way and just reach down. What I'm trying not to do is twist though. I want nice and straight down and do a nice stretch. And then swap over, so probably about a 30 to 40 second hold on the other side. And then what you can do once you've done both those sides is interlock your hands, reach up and give yourself a big overall stretch, and then relax.